continues, of course, to shine on the Springboks as they continue to do the countrywide tour, showcasing the Rugby World Cup trophy. This year, the Webb Ellis Cup is adorned in a special Louis Vuitton travel case. The handcrafted collector's item is the first of its kind in sporting history, with it being made accessible for purchase across the world. But how much will it be to own a piece of Rugby World Cup history? To answer that, we're joined by Michael Zahariev, who's co-founder of Luxity, a South African luxury items buyer and reseller boutique in South Africa. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, we're seeing this magnificent trophy being held by the Boks as they showcase it across the country. But of course, it comes in a bespoke designer case. What's your take on this case? I mean, it's luxury at its best.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Louis Vuitton, your viewers might know, is synonymous with luggage. But Louis Vuitton being founded in 1854, luggage at the time was really trunks. And Louis Vuitton was the innovator of the trunks, the flat top trunks for stacking. So, they have their roots as the early innovators in luggage. And therefore, they're the perfect brand partnership with this heritage for designing a trophy trunk, which not only displays the trophy beautifully, but makes sure that it is safe while it travels.
So while this handcrafted collector's item is a first of its kind in sporting history, we know that Louis Vuitton has been interactive and has a relationship with sporting tournaments. They've designed a trophy case for the 2015 Rugby World Cup winners and the 2014 FIFA World Cup and others. What makes this one so special, and how much would it be to own a piece of Rugby World Cup history like this?
Well, each Louis Vuitton trunk is customized specifically to the trophy, and it's hand-created by its craftsmen. So each one is a one-of-a-kind, unique piece. Any Louis Vuitton trunk, in fact, these days, is made on custom order only. So each piece is very unique, it's very specialized, and they run at some of the most expensive items from Louis Vuitton. Your viewers might be used to Louis Vuitton for their handbags or shoes, but in fact, their trunks are their most coveted piece. And in terms of the value of such a trunk, it's very difficult to say what the specific one would retail for. We pegged it at around 2.3 to 5 million rand, so we can see how exclusive and expensive such a item would be from Louis Vuitton.
So as a buyer, you would obviously go out and find items you believe have a clientele and who would be interested. If we have to break down the type of person who'd be interested in this heritage history piece, what kind of buyer do you think is going to spend about 5 million rand on something like this?
Well, obviously, with any luxury piece, exclusivity is the prime factor that we look at. So the more exclusive an item, the more that a buyer is going to be willing to pay for it. And obviously, we have a lot of high net worth individuals, specifically in the rugby playing countries, South Africa, France, that would be interested in a piece like this, particularly with Louis Vuitton being a French brand. You could imagine, the heritage, the World Cup being hosted in France, if only for that buyer, perhaps France won, but of course, thankfully, South Africa won. So, the list would definitely range long for any high net worth individual, interested in the heritage of rugby. This particularly would be a very interesting item.
Would this item rank along with the scale of artwork as a display piece installed somewhere?
Yes, of course. I mean, luxury items and specifically collectors' luxury items are a growing investment piece or an alternative investment and have actually been performing better than many other alternative investments, like you mentioned, art. So, I definitely foresee that something like this would be seen as a good investment piece and equivalent to an art piece, something that you could display, see as an investment and grow over time.
Very well. Thank you so much for that, Michael Zahariev, co-founder of Luxity, in a South African luxury items buyer and reseller boutique in South Africa, talking about the caliber of this designer piece.